Parker's breath misted in the cold air of the schoolyard, but what emerged wasn't vapor, it was fire. The phenomenon lasted only a heartbeat. A small jet of flame, no larger than a candle's flicker, escaped his lips as he laughed at something his friend had said. The other students froze, their eyes wide with shock and fear. Parker's own hand flew to his mouth, his heart hammering against his ribs. "Did you just?" his friend stammered, backing away slowly, before Parker could respond. The sky darkened, not with clouds, but with wings. Massive, scale-covered wings that blotted out the sun and cast the entire school in shadow. The dragons had arrived. Nancy. Chen stood in the principal's office when the emergency alert blared through the school's speakers. As student council president, she'd been discussing the upcoming science fair. But now she rushed to the window alongside Principal Morrison. What she saw defied every law of physics and biology she'd ever learned. 3 enormous creatures descended from the sky, their bodies covered in iridescent scales that shimmered with colors no human spectrum could fully capture. They landed in the school's athletic field with earth-shaking thuds, their clawed feet tearing furrows in the carefully maintained grass. Each dragon was easily the size of a commercial aircraft, with horns that curved back from massive skulls and eyes that glowed like molten gold. "Evacuate the building," Principal Morrison whispered, his voice trembling. Now, but Nancy couldn't move. She watched as the largest dragon, a magnificent creature with scales of deep crimson and gold, lowered its head toward a small figure in the courtyard. Parker Mitchell, the quiet sophomore from her chemistry class, stood perfectly still as the dragon's massive snout approached him. The creature inhaled deeply, its nostrils flaring. Then it spoke, and its voice resonated not just in the air but in Nancy's very bones, flame-wrought. "After 10,000 cycles, another has awakened." Parker should have been terrified. Every instinct screamed at him to run, to hide, to do anything but stand before this impossible being. Yet something deeper than instinct held him rooted. The dragon's presence felt familiar, like a half-remembered dream or a song he'd known in childhood. "I don't understand," Parker managed, his voice barely audible. "What's happening to me?" The crimson dragon's eyes studied him with an intelligence that was utterly alien, yet somehow comprehensible. "You carry the ancient gift, young one. The fire that burns within you is no human trait. It is our gift, bestowed upon your ancestors when humans and dragons forged the first covenant." A second dragon, smaller and covered in scales of sapphire blue, moved forward. Its voice was softer, almost gentle. "We are the Dracoresh, the Flame Keepers. When humanity first reached for the stars, we taught them to harness the cosmic fire. In exchange, they helped us save our dying world." The bond was sealed in flame and promise. Parker's mind raced. But that's impossible. Dragons are mythology, fairy tales, as were we, to you, the third dragon rumbled, its obsidian scales absorbing the light around it. "But your species forgot. After the scattering, when humans spread across 1,000 worlds, the memory became legend. The legend became myth. Yet the bond endured, sleeping in human DNA, waiting for the right catalyst to awaken it." Nancy had made her decision. While other students fled in panic and teachers scrambled to implement lockdown protocols, she walked purposefully toward the athletic field. Something about this moment felt pivotal, not just for Parker, but for all of humanity. The dragon's attention shifted to her as she approached, and she felt the weight of their ancient gaze. But Nancy had never been one to back down from a challenge, even one that defied every rational thought. "If you're here for Parker," she called out, her voice stronger than she felt, "then you need to explain this to all of us, not just to him. Whatever this gift is, whatever it means, we deserve to understand." The crimson dragon's massive head swiveled toward her, and for a moment, Nancy wondered if she'd made a fatal mistake. Then something unexpected happened. The dragon's eyes crinkled, almost as if it were smiling. "Brave. For one so small," it observed. "You speak with the voice of leadership. What is your designation?" "Human child." "Nancy Chen," she replied, lifting her chin. "And he's not going anywhere until we get answers." Parker looked at her with gratitude and confusion in equal measure. They'd barely spoken before this moment, yet here she was, standing between him and 3 cosmic entities, the sapphire dragon lowered itself to the ground, bringing its head to a more conversational level. Fair enough, Nancy Chen. The flame rod are rare, perhaps 1 in a billion humans carry the dormant gene. When awakened, they can channel cosmic fire, manipulate thermal energy, and bridge the gap between species. They are our ambassadors, our link to humanity, but they are also hunted. The obsidian dragon added darkly. The Void Collective seeks to eradicate all flame rot. They believe the Human-Dragon Alliance poses a threat to their dominion over the outer sectors. Nancy processed this information, her analytical mind working through the implications. So you're saying Parker is in danger? That there are others out there who'll come for him? Yes, the Crimson Dragon confirmed. Which is why we must take him to Sanctuary, where he can learn to control his gift and prepare for what comes. No, Parker spoke up suddenly, his voice firm. Not without answers, not without understanding what I'm choosing. He looked at Nancy, then back at the dragons. You say my ancestors made a covenant. What exactly did they promise? The dragons exchanged glances, a silent communication passing between them. Finally, the Crimson One spoke. To stand together against the darkness, to share knowledge and strength, to ensure that neither species would face extinction alone. The dragon's voice resonated with solemnity. Your ancestor, the first flame rot, was named Sarah Brightflame. She saved our world from the stellar collapse by channeling the fire of a dying star. In gratitude, we wove our essence into her bloodline. Parker felt something ignite within his chest, not physically, but spiritually. A connection to something vast and ancient. The choice is yours, Parker Mitchell. The sapphire dragon said gently. But know this, the gift has awakened. It will not sleep again. You can come with us and learn control. Or you can remain and risk destroying everything you love in a moment of lost control. Nancy stepped closer to Parker. Whatever you decide, you don't have to do it alone. Parker looked at her. This brave girl who'd stepped into the unknown for a near stranger. Then at the dragons who claimed kinship with his blood. The fire within him pulsed, neither threatening nor painful, but present, undeniably real. I'll go, he said finally. But I want Nancy to come too. If I'm supposed to be some kind of ambassador, I'll need someone who can speak for humanity. Someone I trust. The dragons considered this, their ancient minds weighing possibilities. Then the Crimson One nodded, agreed. The bond is strongest when freely chosen on both sides. As Parker and Nancy stepped forward together, their lives changed forever. Behind them, their school stood in shocked silence. Ahead, the stars waited with secrets 10,000 years old. The Age of Dragons had returned to humanity. And humanity, as always, would adapt, survive, and ultimately thrive. HFY. The end.